So, in this country, right, we have the illusion in England that we have a wonderful MI6, right, security service, right? And it's got this beautiful building on the River Thames, and James Bond's there, and people like that, and they make loads of gadgets and all that. That's an illusion. I think they're just a bunch of perverts with gadgets and stalkers. Yeah, I don't think they got a clue, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, would we? So yeah, I just thought I'd say that. I don't think they're all there, and I think they did a glass onion on the Looking Glass, by the way. Yeah, do you see that? Mm. So yeah, I think that Fleming and the Casino Royale has been going on in the black and white for a while, right? And I don't know why if that's where it started, right? I'm not sure, but if that film's still going, they're still in there, up and down the list in that film still, right? So you've got to get them out of Casino Royale, black and white film, right? So you get them out of that. So that's the real one, right? Because the one in the black and white is usually the real one, the first one, right? And the newer ones are not so new, right? But the black and white one, right, is where the real one is, and they got no color there, but they could be the real one, right? Right. So if they keep building this glass onion, they're never going to get back to the black and white one, where they need to go back to, not to the technology stupid matrix shit one, right? Which is what the 5D was, right? So they got to get back to the black and white to get back out, right? So how did they get to the black and white Casino Royale? What the start of that? How did they get into that? And who did that? And what was the film before that about spies in Britain? Uh, the first sort of film about it uh, during the war and that, right? What spells were they doing in these films, right? I saw a lot of Laurel and Hardy spelling, right? And they knew, and Charlie Chaplin, he knew, and I could tell watching some of the black and white films that it was literally spelled from that, right? And we're here now, and we're trying to go and find your where you got eyes to go into this shit, right? You've been there longer than what you say, eh? And so I think is going to look at these black and white films and do a decode of it. See if we can find a pattern of when we all uh, got iced, so that we can find the first folding of it into technology, right? So the first folding of when we went into something like technology, and that we can find the true start out, right? So to find the true start, we got to get out. So we got to go back to black and white films, right? And then there is some kind of inversion with something there, and I think that's got subliminal, uh, something subliminal with Columbo had a subliminal episode about subliminal, so you can learn about it from that, right? So we've got to take subliminals out because it's not allowed, it's illegal, right? But they are using them. But it's helpful for us at the moment because we're using them for our understanding. Because we can hear a tiny little thing in a conversation will mean something different to us, right? So, yeah. What else? Uh, um, well, I think you found something. So, yeah, I think they found something with doing that. So they must have found a bridge back to black and white. Maybe they lost the bridge back to black and white. Why would that have happened? VHS to beta. Ah, right. So you found a way to get back to that. So you can see James Bond in that, and you can see uh, who walked on top of that pattern, right? because it's like a tower of it, right? You see, it's like a tower. So that's towered, but it's also stretched because you can see it's affected time too, right? But that there is a tower of it, right? And all the way up to the current James Bond, right? And all the way to the bottom of it, right? Now that's a tower of it, and but the seventh floor, I don't know what they call it, but the stretch is the time too, right? So that's the implications of what spelling was done over the security of the country in real life. So what was that, and disclose that, and report that, and see if that's impacted our security, so that see if they became unwillingly became matrix agents to pull people into it without realizing that they were doing that, right? Because that's, I think, what's happened, right? And now we're sort of going out of it in our mind, and it's all going away. Do you know what I mean? It's like a mental thing, really, but we don't have to move. It's literally adjusting as we understand where we went wrong, how we got trapped into these experiments, right? So we're coming out of the experiments from the Nazi era, right, which is black and white. Okay, so we might end up waking up in World War II, right? I know, because it might have all been an illusion from World War II. Even World War, I don't know if World War One was ready, but World War Two, it might have been an illusion. So that means that a lot of things wouldn't have happened. Where, where, where didn't people go? I mean, what if people didn't go somewhere? They just stayed there, and there was only particular people that got folded. Did we travel higher away from time and go to a further time or a lower time? Well, it doesn't really matter. Time is like there's no up or down to it, is there? But anyway, I don't know.